Live from Studio D in the 3rd Ward in downtown Milwaukee, this is Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Hi, I'm Charlie, and today on Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders, my guest is Tony Snell-Rodriguez. Tony?
Hi, how are you?
Going? Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
So, Tony is the Director of Community Engagement and Inclusion for Visit Milwaukee.
Yes.
He is the chair of the
Equal Rights Commission.
I was on the Human Rights Commission in Sherwood. Equal Rights Commission for the City of Milwaukee. And he's also on BizTime's list of notable Latino leaders here in Milwaukee. So, Tony, appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're gonna have a little fun today, but we want to start talking about your early years. So I know you were born in the Jacksonville area.
Jacksonville Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, right near the beach at a hospital.
So talk about your early years, 'cause I know you moved around a lot. So talk about that and leading up to heading off to college.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll go back just a little bit further. My father was in the Navy on submarines, and he ended up in Spain. He went to a show, a flamenco show in southern Spain, and my mother was the headliner.
Ooh.
Yeah, they met. She didn't speak English. He didn't speak Spanish. But it's worked ever since. Something worked.
Yeah.
And then they came over to Florida, and that's why Florida with the Navy base there. And my movement. So I was born there. We lived in Connecticut. We lived in Virginia. And then we settled in Charleston, South Carolina, where I grew up most of my life in Charleston, my young life. Yeah, and then off to college.
So you went to University of South Carolina, and as we
Go Gamecocks.
My sister went there. So talk about your college years, and was there a plan after college?
Wow. Well, so that was interesting because I was at the University of South Carolina, obviously in the Deep South, and I was not out as an LGBTQ person. So my plans were continued to hunker down, and I wanted to pursue. I was in journalism, so communications. But I wanted to pursue the political side of things in government, and I did. I worked for the state senate while I was in at the university. I also worked for the lieutenant governor, and but then reality set in. Right, you're leaving college, and I went to work running a campaign, managing a campaign of an individual, and it turns out that person then came to me and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay." And I said, "Oh my gosh, you're a Democrat running in a Republican district, and you're gay, and you're originally from New York City, in South Carolina, in the most Republican county in the country."
Right.
We came close to winning, but with him coming out to me and letting me know that, he also turned to me and he says, "Do you have anything you need to tell me?" And I'm like, "No." Are you? No. And then 3 days later, I finally said, "Yes, I am." And he was in the hospitality business, he owned restaurants, nightclubs. And after that, I went to work for him, ran a good campaign, and then so I pivoted. And I was able to live my authentic self and work in an industry that accepted me and embraced me. And then I went on to own some of those very same businesses when he retired.
Nice.
And
in South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
Okay.
And so I was in the hospitality business working, but I was also an advocate. They gave me the opportunity to be an advocate because I worked for me then, and then by day I could be actually lobbying in the State House for human rights, and then still keeping my job in the evening. So that was good.
So that's the initial part of your early career. So talk about your earlier career leading up to Milwaukee and Visit Milwaukee.
Yeah, I continued in the hospitality business. And I continued to be an advocate. So I was president of South Carolina Pride, and that was the organization that ran the community center as well. We did most of the lobbying and moving in that direction. So my bifurcated life, really. It was government and politics, everything that I wanted, and it was the beauty of the hospitality industry. And it just worked well together all that time. Well, then I met my husband at the University of South Carolina, and he was there in research and in biomedical engineering. And then he said to me, "Tony, by the way, I got this job offer in Milwaukee to be a professor at MSOE, or an opportunity to interview for a job." And I was like, wow, I've never been to Milwaukee. And he was like, well, me neither.
Most people say that.
Right. Yeah. And he's originally from China, Central
okay.
China. So the Xi'an area.
Gotcha.
But he had gone to, his higher ed was in Shanghai. So obviously he'd never been to Milwaukee either.
Right.
And so we came up here. I actually followed him on the trip to interview. And for two reasons. I wanted to know a little bit more about Milwaukee. And he didn't know how to tie a tie, and so I was here to tie his tie.
Oh.
And he went to the interview. I toured the city. I went from the east side as far as I could in different directions.
What time frame is this?
This was 2012.
Okay.
And it was in the summer or earlier in the spring. So the weather was pretty nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Fooled you.
So after I also met some people and from the community. So I want to find out, things like, do we belong here?
Right.
And is there a Chinese market? Because he likes that kind of food. I like Spanish food,
Right.
But it had a lot of these different things. So at the end of the day, we got back together. And he said, I think this is a place I can work. And I said, I think this is a place we can live. And we came back for a second interview. I did some more research. I came again, tying again. And then I said, you know what? I've lived my dreams. Let's live yours. And
Great.
His dreams became my dreams. Because Milwaukee turns out to be a phenomenal place to live.
We would agree on that. So you're here in Milwaukee, and how do you end up at Visit Milwaukee as the Director of Community Engagement and Inclusion?
Right. So interesting story. I was volunteering in the community because I wanted my husband, Wuji, to be set up for success, right? So I wasn't going to get into my career at first. I was going to be the one making sure cooking at home at the evening and making sure everything at home was just right, because this is a new adventure, more so for him, right? This is a commitment. So I just kind of volunteered in the community, and then I volunteered for USA Triathlon. It's been here several different times in several different iterations.
Right.
And when I volunteered all 3 days. And the last day, I volunteered with a person and their family. And they said, hey, you might want to volunteer for Visit Milwaukee. And I was like, oh, what is that? And then they told me a little bit about it, because I was really a person giving a positive feedback about Milwaukee and talking about all the things, and we had those conversations.
Right.
So he said, yeah, tell him I sent you over there. And I did. I didn't know who he was at the time. And they said, oh, that's the CEO of the Wisconsin Center District, which is the convention center,
Right.
which Visit Milwaukee is a part of and works with the center. So they were like, oh, okay. So I became a volunteer, and 2 years later, they said, would you like to come to work for us? And then I worked in different positions, and I used my experience, my skill sets as we moved forward. And then Peggy Williams-Smith, our current CEO,
Right.
came to me with this position because of my work in the community and advocacy. All the while that I was working at Visit Milwaukee, I was also doing community engagement, because I was working in the visitor experience side. I was also the volunteers were a part of that as well. So you're out in the community recruiting volunteers.
Right.
So it was a natural fit.
Well, I've seen you on social media for a while, and you're very out in front in terms of promoting Milwaukee, as am I. Not to the level you are, but we both are advocates for the city.
Absolutely.
So I've known of you, and having a chance to have you here and then talk a little bit more. So talk about, if you would, the purpose of Visit Milwaukee and some of the things you guys are involved with.
Well, first of all, we promote Milwaukee to the world, and all of the wonderful things. And we're at 60 plus trade shows a year across the country. Our sales team.
Wow.
Working to get conventions here and conferences. So, and the USA Triathlon. We have a sports Milwaukee division,
Really?
and NCAA events, USA Fencing that came in. So all of these conventions you're seeing and all of these sporting events that are coming in, that's a part of what we do.
Wow.
And also we have an incredible marketing team that's out there. For example, when the Bucks were in the playoffs in Atlanta 2021, right?
Right.
Well, we had an opportunity to run ads there in that market, and we did because that worked well because people saw the Bucks. They knew a little bit about Milwaukee that way, and then we shared a little bit more. So bringing people into Milwaukee is the key, and we say it starts with a visit. Whether you're visiting family, whether you're coming here to look for a job or an interview, or whether leisure travel or a convention, it starts with a visit. Then, once you see, then you might decide to move here, start a family here, a business,
Right.
and invest here. So it all starts with a visit. It might be even coming to a reunion or an anniversary event, or somehow when you're dropping your kid off to college and you come and visit. Yeah, you might want to come and move here.
It's the parallel is interesting because my wife interviewed for a job here back in 2010, and like you, I'd never been to Milwaukee. I've traveled all over extensively, but I've never been here.
Yeah.
And I said, Milwaukee, it's like it's an industrial town. It's dirty, and you get here and you find it. No, it's not.
Right.
It's a wonderful city. We're on the lake. We just have a lot of things to offer, and so again, like you, we found a lot of interesting things to do, and it started with a visit. So it just kind of worked, and my wife took a job, and so we've been here ever since. So.
Yeah, and that was the other thing is the lake. Growing up in Charleston, and growing up in Jacksonville, and Connecticut, and Virginia, it was all water, right, in my life. So when I looked out at that ocean, I actually walked down from MSOE. Well, we were staying at a hotel, and I walked down to the lakeside, and when I ended up there, I looked out, and I was like, I'd seen the Great Lakes before, but just not in a way, not this way.
Right.
And it's so pristine, the parks out there. And you actually look at the parks and you're looking across and the trails and you're like, wow, this is a secret that's kept. And
it's a great place to be. So
right.
We agree.
But we at Visit Milwaukee want to make sure that people that live here know that we're not a hidden gem, we're a gem.
Absolutely.
We're not a small town, we're a big city. And we at Visit Milwaukee, yes, accentuate the positives. Yeah, there are challenges in the city. And believe me, I'm on the Equal Rights Commission, so I see it firsthand.
Sure.
But we're dealing with them. We're working on those things. But there has to be a cheerleader out there. There has to be a cheerleader that showcases all of these wonderful things that you and I got to know in a brief moment and fell in love with.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the work we do. Ultimately, I think that defines us best.
Well, it's a great organization. It's been around. How long has it been around?
My goodness, well, in different iterations over time, but it's been around since the 1800s, believe it or not. It started like as a chamber tourism. Yeah, and we're
Come
the
and
second
get some beer in
oldest,
Milwaukee.
Yeah, we're the second oldest in the country. Detroit beat us by a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So convention visitors bureaus, or we're known as a destination marketing organization. Well, in that world, and we're all over the place. There's Visit Madrid,
Sure.
there's Choose Chicago, there's Minneapolis, we'll Visit Milwaukee, Experience Columbus. So we're all over, and these organizations are all over, but we're the second oldest in the country.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have a little fun. We call this Serious People with Serious Jobs, having a little fun. I think you have a little fun on your job anyway.
I do. I have a lot of fun.
So I want to give you one of our aprons to put on so you don't get your Milwaukee sweatshirt all dirty. So what are we making today?
We are making, as I said, my mother's from Spain, and one of the delightful dishes there is a very simple dish. It's a Spanish tortilla de patatas. So that's a tortilla of potatoes. So it's very much like an omelet or a quiche in some respect, but it's its own style, its own flavor.
So when you
Very
told me
popular.
about this, I was thinking, well, it's a tortilla, but it's not. And then my wife reminded me, says, oh, you've had this at Jose Andres' place in D.C.
There you go.
And I said, oh, yeah, I have. So,
Jaleo.
all right. Yeah, it's jaleo, right. So we've done a little prep work back here. So give us a minute. Go back, and we'll put together our tortilla de papas. Correct?
Patatas,
Patatas.
Papas is also another word for potatoes, yeah. But tortilla de patatas.
Patatas. Great.
Yeah.
All right. Be right back. All right. So we're back here at the stove. So Tony, take it away.
Okay, we're gonna take the onions.
So we have some oil in there, right?
Yeah, we'll get some oil.
Okay.
Let's see. Is it warmed up? Yeah, it's warmed up. Let's check it out. We'll throw one in here to see. Yeah. It's moving right along. It's olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil.
We got some olive oil, and that's a couple of medium-sized onions.
Yep, medium size. We'll cook them just a bit. Put in some more oil.
All right. We have plenty of oil. This is our friends, Popeye Olive and Senor Avocado.
Yeah, we'll throw some potatoes in there.
All right, so we're going to put some potatoes in.
Yeah.
All right.
How many potatoes did we chop
There's
up?
4.
4. Okay.
And I used a mandolin to make sure the potatoes and the onions were the same size. All right, so we're not putting any salt and pepper in here. We're just gonna fry
Potatoes
these.
and onions. Yep.
So this is the basis of what goes into the tortilla. And we'll get these browned a little bit. And then we'll go over to the other pan where we're gonna make the tortilla with the eggs. And all right.
Really get it going in cooking. We want it to be soft and palatable.
Right.
And already. Yeah. Once we get it
Okay.
there, then we can go to the next step.
All right. So I can help do this while we're doing the other stuff.
Okay.
It's reaching the Peter principle. The highest level of incompetence. All right.
There we go. So the tortilla de patata can be made a couple of different ways too. Or there are different iterations of it. You can make it without the onion if you don't want the onion.
Okay.
And so in Spain, there is a divide. They're like those that like tortilla de patata with onions and those that don't. And so I prefer that.
Yes.
Then
Tom, onions? Tom wants onions.
another option is whether they like the eggs runny in the tortilla or completely cooked. Typically, you would completely cook it because tortillas, many times in Spain, it's not necessarily the breakfast item. In Spain, a breakfast is like a piece of bread with some olive oil and maybe some garlic and a coffee. Tortillas are typically eaten at room temperature. So they're kept at restaurants throughout Spain, and a lot of times at a bar with a glass cover. And you walk in there and you order a beer, a cerveza, and you get a free tapas in Spain. Typically, when you go to a bar, you order a beer, you get a tapas. And sometimes it's a tortilla de patatas. Sometimes it could be shrimp and garlic. Sometimes it could be just a little plate of olives. So this is found in I think every single bar or restaurant at some point serves tortilla de patatas, and it's great at in the morning, during the day, in the evening, and those late night dinners that they have in Spain, like at 10 o'clock. You know, that's when you have dinner in Spain.
Do you think you could use your position at Visit Milwaukee to get the Milwaukee bars to give out free tapas with their beers?
You know, I don't think I have that much power or leverage, but, you know.
Well, that,
always a chance.
See how much power you actually do have. All right, so we've got the eggs, and we put salt in that, right?
Right.
So we put a little salt in. About how much?
I'm going to take a spoonful of
Salt.
salt and
Right.
I'm just going to sprinkle it over the eggs. This is going to be the entirety of the salt used. No pepper, just salt. Some people will sprinkle a little bit of Spanish paprika on it at the end, but typically it's as simple as possible.
Which is the beauty of the dish.
Yes. And then batamos los huevos. We'll do this. This is a bilingual podcast now, right? We'll do it that way. Nice.
All right. So we need
We'll begin heating the pan. We'll throw a little bit of olive oil and they're just enough.
All right, so putting some olive oil.
Yeah, just
in the pan.
enough where it doesn't stick. So growing up as a kid, this is something that I enjoyed, and I often asked my mother to cook. We had tortilla de patatas, tortilla. And she said, "You're going to turn into one." So that, but this was my favorite dish growing up as a kid. It's very easy.
All right, so we've got the potatoes about ready. So, Tony, why don't you go ahead and they're going to scoop them into the eggs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
I'm going to scoop them in. It's okay to have a little oil mixed in as well.
Well, that's good because we have a little oil. So we're going to take the mixture.
Yeah. So we're going to mix it up just a little bit with the egg and let it sit together.
All right, we'll let it sit for a couple minutes, and then this will cook. We've got a little bit of oil in the base of the pan. And we're going to cook the tortilla in that. All right, so we're going to let this sit for a minute, and then we'll be back to put it in the pan.
All right, here we go. We're going to take the potatoes and the onions and the egg, and they've been kind of like marinating together for a little while after we cook them, and we will now put them in the pan and cook them.
All right. So we've got a pan with some oil.
Yeah, olive oil again.
That's the sound we like to hear.
Yeah, it's sizzling.
All right, so this will take a minute, and then we have a top. Yep. Which is actually an inverted pizza pan.
To flip.
And we put a little oil on it. So we'll let this go for.
Yeah.
So we're on medium low. Where do you want it?
That I think would be just fine, and we'll.
Okay. All right, so this will take. So we'll let this go for a minute, and then we'll come back and we'll give it a flip. Be right back. Let's take a look what we got here.
Okay.
All right.
It's coming together, and then we will.
Let's
take this, and you can see around the edges. You'll notice that there's movement.
All right, so the plan is to put this pizza pan on top, flip it, and then put it back into the pan.
Yes.
All right. Tony's got us.
I'm not used to the heavy.
All right, so pan on top.
Skillet.
Flip.
Ooh.
Okay. Look at that.
Oh boy, it's a little. It's done on that side.
We'll be good.
Okay.
Right, put the pan in.
Yeah, and then we slide the tortilla.
Slides back in.
Back in.
Look at that. Perfect. Almost. Perfect. Almost. All right. So we're going to let this cook for another minute or two.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
And then we're going to send it to the table, and we're going to eat it. And so give us a minute. Be right back. All right, we're back. So, Tony, tell us what we got here.
We have tortilla de patatas from Spain. This is something people eat morning, noon, or night. It's a great snack. It's a great little meal. It's a great in-between food.
And you said this is a lot of times served at room temperature. But this just came off the hot stove, and I can see it steaming. So we're going to eat it hot.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Tony, I'm going to ask you to cut. We also have some nice crusty bread here. So we'll send that off to Tom over there.
It's like a pizza here. We're cutting it like a pizza.
Tom, take the bread.
Thank you.
All right.
It's a pie. All right, I will serve some up, Tom. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
All right, a little piece for Tom.
There's the onion. There's the potato. You can see the side. That's the way it's supposed to look. Okay. We'll just go.
You're the guest, so you go ahead. Brandon?
Hi, guys.
Hungry?
Oh. Let's just get you a good slice right there.
There we go. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hey, we got to do it. That's the way we do it.
Brandon, if you want to hand me your plate.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
Tony.
Tony.
Tony, nice to meet you.
And it's still steaming.
Oh my gosh.
It's potatoes and onions.
Grab a piece of crusty bread. And the
Just
guest
in time.
guest will finally serve himself.
I could smell the onions wafting out there, and I was like, I smell onions, and I was not wrong on that one.
All right. So we're gonna I'm going to give this, or we're going to give it a taste, see how we did.
Yeah, and then bread along with it. Spanish people eat bread with everything. So this is a Spanish dish.
I could see this as room temperature. Mm-hmm. But I like it's hot is just as good.
And interesting that too, people will eat this on bread as a sandwich. Mayonnaise was invented, if you will, in Spain. Mayonesa. Yeah. So they put a little mayonnaise on it and bread. Make it a little sandwich. Kids do.
Not adults are not allowed?
Oh, I can, but
Okay.
they don't. So, in Spain, parents visit their children at the end of the day because everything's community centric, right? Kids come home from school to eat all over, no matter. So do parents. Your big meal of the day is at noon, and everybody gathers together and eats together. And when they go out to meet their kids at the end of the day, before the walk home, you have what you call a little almuerzo, just a little bit of food that'll carry you over. Many times it's a little sandwich. Could be a piece of tortilla. Could be a tortilla sandwich. Could be a chocolate sandwich.
Well, now you're talking.
It's really good chocolate sandwiches. I grew up on that. So you can take a piece of chocolate and with bread and just eat it. People say, "Ooh, chocolate sandwich. That doesn't make sense." How about a chocolate croissant? It's bread and chocolate. If you think of cakes, and it's breading and chocolate, right? So it is super good, and that was something I always enjoyed too as a kid. Mm-hmm.
This is delicious. It's a great recipe. Mm-hmm. And speaking of recipes,
eat it with the bread, Tom. Try. So the Spaniards eat things a little bit more with their hand, like this. You just take it, put it with the bread. Don't be so formal.
I was giving you an opening when I said, talking about recipes.
And a mouthful.
So Tony was kind enough to bring something today, and I'll let you talk about it. Or actually, I will talk while Tony swallows. And so it's a cookbook. It's a Visit Milwaukee cookbook. And they've got chefs from all over the city to come in and put recipes together.
It's phenomenal. It's our first one, and it's a beautiful book. Plenty of recipes, great pictures, chefs from all throughout the city. And you know many of them. We already talked about how many are in here. Their favorite dishes they're sharing with you in this incredible cookbook. From every kind of dish, from desserts to bolognese to Thai cooking, I believe. There are just so many
Well, thank you so much.
And for anybody that wants one, Boswell Books, great community bookstore.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So maybe we can
Have you
try
back
a few.
and we'll do.
Yeah, we'll try.
Absolutely. Well, before you take another bite,
Yeah.
thanks so much.
Thank you for everything. I appreciate it. This
was
is
a lot of
fun.
It was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
I love
It's
it.
tasty food. I get some swag.
Oh, Visit's about swag too, right? Yeah.
That's right.
And then we're about telling stories. And thank you for telling the stories, because this is what it's all about.
It
And
is.
when, we always want to tell the stories the way people want them told, because that's what makes them authentic. And I think you do it best.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
So thanks, Tony, for coming today, being on the show. And thanks to all you out there for supporting Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Each week we talk to one of our local community leaders. We talk about their work in the community. We cook something tasty, and then we eat it. So until next time, thanks for watching. Tom, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Brandon
Bye.
and Tony.
Bye.
We all say goodbye. See ya. Thanks so much for joining us on another episode of Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time.